12 legends, no race. EXO's the name. They lit up the world, every stage set aflame. Through departures and returns, they still hold the crown. 12 stars in the galaxy, never backing down. Seaman's ice, Suho's calm, Lei's sheep to lion. Baekhyun's highs, Chen's gold vocals defiant. Chanyeol's fire, t.o.'s soul, Kai's moonwalk sway. Sehun's visuals, Chris's glare, legends in the fray. Luhan's grace, Tao's kicks, 12 hearts aligned. From chaos to crowns, they rewrote the design. Scattered like constellations, but the bond stays true. EXO screaming, we'll always stand by you. 12 names, infinite legacy, turning the page. EXO's the story that will outlast every age. Names, infinite legacy, turning the page. EXO's the story that will outlast every age.
After a day of wandering around, shopping, and having a blast in the city,
How will you hurry your ass up and get out of the jewelry section? We have a plane to catch.
Chen yelled from the chair he was currently sitting on.
The plane isn't due to leave for another 15 minutes. Jungdae, we have time.
Luhan called back, earning multiple moans and groans from the other boys. Baekhyun and Kaisoo cackled quietly to themselves, then both standing with the bat in her hand. They had already sent Baekhyun's suitcase through the carrier, so he didn't have to worry about it till he got to America for baggage claim.
I hope you enjoyed Korea for the guys you did get to see.
She smiled, looking down at his best friend who happily returned it.
Are you kidding? When you took us to the K-pop store, I literally died. I was surprised that my duffel bag didn't exceed the limit after I bought some plushies and albums.
You practically blackmailed me to put some of your stuff into my suitcase. Hyun,
Baekhyun laughed, watching his best friend roll his eyes.
My favorite part had to be when Chen nearly got shit on by that pigeon in the town square.
Minsuk laughed, bending over on himself in exaggeration.
We do not talk about that.
Lei announced his body, still quivering under the fact that he's seen the evil bird of the sky so close and personal today.
That bird was evil, and it could smell my fear. I know that for sure.
Suvo could do nothing but wrap his arm around his boyfriend and continue to hand him tea to calm his nerves. Teo was having a similar problem with Chris, who was terrified of flying.
Bird shit is supposed to be lucky.
Chen countered his nose in the air and his arms crossed over his chest.
If it had hit me, I could have won the lotto.
기야, 일 take out 50 cents for a lottery ticket. Can't wait to see that.
Sehun muttered, rolling his eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Coupon. Over here, who's the cheap one again?
Coupons are amazing, alright?
You watch one episode of Crazy Couponers and you think you know the whole system, Sehun.
Chen glared, throwing invisible daggers at the younger, who wasn't hearing any of it, due to the earbuds he shoved into his ears.
Well, at least we won't have to worry about crying babies on this flight, considering those two bickering will take up most of the noise.
Kai grinned before taking a full of the water from the bottle he had bought when they went to the food court in the airport.
Where is your seat, Bake? I forgot that you had booked your ticket ahead of us, so you'll be further away.
Towel gas coming out of a store with a new necklace and phone case wrapped in a pretty little white and blue bag.
I'm in 4B near the front, but don't worry. Once the planes are in flight, you can move around the cabin and sit wherever you want. After that, you just need to remain in the seat you were assigned until liftoff.
He explained, watching as his friend's jaws dropped.
You didn't know that?
No.
Kai yelled, making the youngest jump.
I have been stuck on the longest flight ever with that thing beside me for hours, and you're telling me I could have got up and moved to a different seat?
Well, yeah.
Baekhyun nodded, watching as Sehun's lip rose halfway up his face as Kai pointed a finger in his direction.
Oi, I'm not a thing. I'm Sehun, you white.
Oh, cry me a river. Does it look like I care?
Does getting on flights naturally piss everyone off, or am I missing something?
He whispered into Kaisoo's ear, earning a soft shrug in return.
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine at the moment. Fuck.
He laughed, his eyes never leaving the two fighting males before him.
Can all those boarding for the flight to America and then please make their way to the gate you are now boarding?
Standing up and double-checking that he had his plane ticket and passport, Baekhyun joined the queue and handing the ticket to the lady in uniform before starting his journey onto the plane. He found his seat pretty early, happy to see that it was by the window. He said goodbye to his friends before settling himself down and pulling out a notebook and pen. Since he wasn't able to pull down the little table before the plane took off, he rested it against his lap and looked out the window. After a while, the plane was in the air and they were finally on their way to America. Baekhyun glanced down the plane and spotted his friends dotted around the areas, yet Chanyeol was no one to be seen.
Looking for me?
The deep voice rang through his ears, making him turn to look at the chair for him beside him.
What are you doing up here?
Baekhyun wondered, unlocking his seatbelt when it was safe to do so.
Hey, you're the one that said that we could move around the plane when the seatbelt sign turned off and look.
Chanyeol pointed up sign that had once flashed a red seatbelt.
It's off.
Baekhyun blushed, looking down.
That's right, I did say that.
Exactly. You looked lonely, so I gave my seat up to an old man who wasn't able to sit with his wife, a lovely woman. By the way, she gave me these candies.
Baekhyun watched as his crush pulled out a small cardboard box filled to the brim of wrapped fudge candies.
When she found out that you were sitting next to her husband and how much I wouldn't stop talking about you, she said we could share.
The guy was sitting here?
Baekhyun questioned, raising a brow.
Were you passed out when you weren't whipped off or something, or?
What? No, I was looking at the view outside.
Baekhyun explained, leaning back in his chair to show Chanyeol the beautiful night sky before them.
Are you tired?
She wondered, leaning closer so he could see out the small airplane window properly.
Nah, I'll sleep when I get into my dorm. But as for now, I was going to just enjoy the ride, I guess.
He shrugged, earning a smile from the taller.
Now that sounds like a great idea. I'm certain you're cheating.
Chanyeol laughed, reaching forward and taking a card from Baekhyun's hand. The game aimed to take a card from the opposite person's hand and try and make a pair of it with the cards you had in your hand.
I just know how to win this game.
Baekhyun laughed, triumphantly tossing down the last two cards in his hand. Chanyeol immediately let out a small chuckle, seeing Baekhyun so happy, while dancing slightly in his chair, singing quietly,
I won.
Most people on the plane had fallen asleep. Those who hadn't were either watching rubies on the screens provided or typing away last-minute business deadlines on their computers. But the two Sehun college students took entertainment in simple card games.
Let's play Snap.
Baekhyun offered to pull all the cards together and shuffle them professionally. He passed them out evenly while putting away the last card that wasn't able to be spilled between them.
That's the game where if we both show the same family or the number, we slam our hands down and say snap, right? The first one to get rid of their cards loses, right?
Chanyeol questioned, needing a little briefing on the childish game.
Yep, that's it.
Baekhyun agreed with a nod to his head.
Whoever's hand touches the card first wins the lot.
All right, let's go.
Chanyeol grinned, taking his cards and placing them upside down before him so he couldn't view them, Baekhyun doing the same. The youngest took it upon himself to throw down the first card. 4 of clams. Chanyeol grinned, flipping the card down on top of the other, the two of them only being able to see it when it landed on its back. 10 of hearts. Baekhyun quickly threw another one down. 2 of diamonds.
So you're looking forward to the dorm?
Chanyeol wondered, putting down another card. Jack of spades.
I actually am. I can't wait to see my room and the dorm itself. Apparently, according to Go Luhan and Kaisoo, I won't want to leave.
King of clubs.
I'm sure you'll love it too.
Chanyeol grinned. Ace of diamonds.
The classes are going to be fun, considering we both take the same courses.
Queen of hearts.
That's true. I forgot that. I will be seeing you a lot more now that you're in my classes now too.
King of hearts.
Snap. Oh, too slow.
Baekhyun slamming his hand down on the pull-down table to claim the cards. Grinning, he took them up and insisted on another bane. One that Chanyeol gave into by throwing another card down. 3 of spades.
So what are you gonna do when you get to the dorm?
6 of clubs.
I might have a shower, then go and take a proper look around, check out the rooms, maybe even the balcony.
4 hearts.
The balcony, huh?
Jack of hearts.
Snap.
Snap.
Both of their hands were entertained on top of the card. Baekhyun's hand underneath Chanyeol's on the pile. The boys glanced down at their hands, and Chanyeol watched Baekhyun as he watched their fingers. Slowly, he encased Baekhyun's hand in his, as he slowly, not really sure how Baekhyun would react, slid his fingers between the younger. To his surprise, Baekhyun had quickly turned his hand around and looked his fingers around Chanyeol's, their hands now holding on to the other. A small smile danced on the smaller lips as he stared at the big and small hands linked together tightly. Chanyeol felt his heart skip a beat as Baekhyun turned and glanced up at him. No words were spoken, yet Chanyeol could read the words hidden in Baekhyun's eyes. He knew he had feelings for him, heck, they both knew it at this point, but the actions that they did proved more than words or confessions ever could. They were shy and still a little new without the whole idea of having a relationship yet. The more Chanyeol held on to Baekhyun's hand, he couldn't help but wonder if would he be able to hold on to it forever.
Baekhyun,
She started yet wasn't able to finish due to the lips of the smaller slowly getting closer to his own. Their hands stayed interlocked as their lips connected. There was a soft and gently kiss that showered how much emotion and feeling that drove Baekhyun to kiss him in the first place. He's kissing me. He was the one to make the move this time, not me. He thought moving their hands up to his neck, where he dove away from the smallers, pushing them up and around his shoulders, while his own slid down to his side.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please buckle your seatbelts, we are beginning our descent.
The flight attendant announced over the intercom, immediately forcing the boys who were currently having a moment to pull apart with a soft pant. Chanyeol buckled Baekhyun into her seat before working in his own. Baekhyun took the cards and put them back into the holder before they were tossed into his carry-on bag. He pushed the table back up into the seat in front of him. The tip of the plane began to go down, and soon Baekhyun found himself gripping Chanyeol's hand again, yet the calmness of the feeling it gave him was all he needed to keep calm under the nervous landing. In the end, they built a life that was full of love, laughter, and countless memories. They weathered storms, celebrated victories, and held on to each other through it all. Years passed, but their bond only grew stronger, proving that even the toughest times couldn't break what they had. Together, they created a story that was messy, beautiful, and completely theirs. A life well lived, side by side. And as they looked back on their journey, they knew that every moment, every high, and every low was worth it. Because in the end, they had each other, and that was everything. Disclaimer, this story is a work of fiction. The real EXO members are private individuals and their personal lives remain undisclosed.